Yeah, well, I think there are a lot of factors to that. Revenue leadership is going to care about the reps booking as many meetings as possible. What I'm going to care about is them booking meetings as autonomously and as effectively as possible. So the ways that we can think about that are we want to create funnels of delivery that you can use to distill product knowledge, sales execution, career pathing, onboarding, and ongoing training and development. I think there are a couple ways that this falls apart. Like there's a way to reactively set up a seller environment, and there's a way to proactively doing it. If you're doing it reactively, and this happens all the time, manager wakes up one day and he sees on LinkedIn a cool post, and he reaches out to enablement, and he's like, "Hey, this is a great idea. I want to run a training on this." And then what happens? We run the training, and the reps are maybe there, maybe not, and then it drifts off into the ether. And then sales management's wondering, hey, like, why didn't this change take place? And the answer is simple. It's because it wasn't ever actually based on the reps. It was based on whatever we rolled out of bed that morning and thought. So what we want to do, I think, to create a successful seller environment is at the center of it is coaching. That's what it's all about, right? The question is, how can you leverage that coaching into a consistency? So I think a successful seller environment is able to answer a couple of questions. When reps are delivered knowledge and asset, what does that look like? Secondly, what follow-up questions do reps have around those knowledge and assets? And then third, how do they conceptualize that knowledge and assets? The analysis of that, of course, should lead back to what we coach on, and that flywheel starts again. So in short, I think a successful environment for sellers is more capable of teaching them what to do in various situations rather than what to use in various situations. And that's a subtle but important difference, because a successful seller environment is going to successfully drive action quickly rather than simply giving them resources and hoping that they figure out how to use it.
I think the foundational level for a rep, I'll just kind of list off the basics. Like one, product market fit. You need to feel good about what you're selling. You can't work around that. Assuming you have that, then it should be a place where a rep can feel like they can try new things without being penalized. So I'm all about creating a place where reps can try something different, because there's no way what used to work for me still works super well now. So I want people to try new things, get feedback on what's working. It should be a place where they feel like they're consistently being developed. If reps feel like their manager can't help them get better at selling, can't help them win deals, doesn't have their long-term career at heart, it's going to be really hard to be engaged. They're just going to feel like it's just chasing the quarterly number. And then on top of that, a place where they understand the next steps in their career and how to actually get there. Promotion path isn't too ambiguous, it's not too confusing. So to summarize, they have a product they can sell, they feel good about. They feel like they can take risks without being penalized, try new things. They feel like they're getting enabled by their leader. They're getting better at their job because of who they work with, and they know how they continue to progress their career. They're not constantly wondering, well, how do I get promoted? What's the next step? How do I make that happen? If you can put those things together, you're going to have a fairly positive environment for a rep to feel like they can have a successful career in.
I like that. Now, can we split that into, if it was an AE, would it be very different from an ADR? Like, are there things that you would focus more if it was an ADR over an AE, still within that same environment?
Yeah, at the ADR level, like at least when I was an ADR SDR, I had no business acumen. I had no idea how to communicate professionally. I struggled speaking, struggled writing. So I think the enablement has to be at a bit of a higher level, even down to the foundation of how do companies make money? How does the industry we support actually function? Things that a lot of more mature sellers take for granted. ADRs, SDRs may not have that. And so while the fundamentals still remain, they need to feel like they're being progressed by their manager. They need to understand how they get promoted. The coaching, the teaching, it's not just how to sell, it's how to be a professional, how to fit in a room with people talking about financial impact, how to understand value propositions. So largely the same environment, but a different approach to the enablement for an ADR compared to an AE.